Come on. There we go. Streaming.
And tweet has been sent.
Let me tell everybody that we're live. Good
Let
Lord,
me
my
share
phone.
on the Facebooks.
I know my phone's like ThrillGeek.
My phone's like, help me, please stop the insanity, make it stop, please. We are live. Hold on, let me retweet that. Let me retweet that tweet. There we go. All right. All the tweets are out.
From all around Central Florida. Live within 20 minutes. Live within 20 to 30 minutes of each other.
Barry and myself, 10 minutes.
Not. That's gonna change.
I know.
You got me a little cottage.
You gonna be able to still record this podcast in person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry's like, no, I'm moving to the woods. No one
I will have my.
I
will have my own studio. So
that's what I asked you in our chat. I said, "Hey, this new place you're looking at got a room for a little podcast studio?"
Yeah, it'll be a studio because it'll have the drums and
you'll finally have a home for your drum set instead of the corner of your apartment.
Yeah,
it's just a little baby tucked in there.
Hello everyone. Hey, welcome. We got 10, 9, 11, some people watching. How's everybody doing? Let me get over here to the comments, see if anybody's commenting.
Yeah.
This chat needs more. Yeah, Sam. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, sir? Did I do Twitch? I don't even know if I did Twitch.
Christmas,
yeah, I did.
Eric, it's finally December.
You were supposed
to
do Twitch.
It.
All right, I need to kick Eric out already. He's wishing everybody Merry Christmas. Hold on. How do I kick people out?
No.
I'm just kidding. Merry Christmas, Eric.
It's December.
Only 11 days away.
It's only 11 days out.
How the heck did that happen?
I posted the other day on Twitter, hey, Christmas is in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I put up my Christmas tree last night, because that's not
we just got our
game.
We just got our real tree yesterday. So we're there.
Well,
Barry's like,
whoa, where are we going?
That's
where are we
the only
going?
tree.
Oh, like
that's the only tree.
The drums in the corner.
Year.
Your spooky tree?
Spooky tree.
Yeah. No point in putting a tree up.
Hello, Sir Ryan. You don't belong here either. You don't like hot butterbeer. I'm gonna kick out everybody.
I don't either. Can I leave?
Gosh, I know. I keep forgetting.
We
you
knew
don't like it
you
either.
don't like it.
No, I keep forgetting
I don't
that.
like butterbeer at all, though.
You only like the ice cream.
I don't even like butterbeer ice cream. I don't like that taste. I'll leave.
Oh, Eric, have you done that yet? The drive-through one? That's really cool. That Six Flags Magic.
Cute. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I wonder if he did that. Let me know if Eric, have you done that?
Did you do it?
Did you do it? Let me know.
Is it just? I mean, it's just me. It's because I've also been, drive around a lot more than you guys. People's light displays have gone like, I don't know if it's because of coronavirus. People have bought lights like crazy this year.
Now we need to wish our super fan Michael a happy early birthday because he's
happy birthday, Michael.
So he's super excited. Happy early birthday.
Birthday.
Yeah, I have friends who work at Home Depot and they're like almost already out of all their Christmas lights. Like they're not.
Target's done. Like our Target right here in Hunters Creek, it's empty.
Clint
like
is a bit feisty tonight.
They have what?
Somebody said Clint is a bit feisty tonight, and he is.
Feisty, spicy.
Well, this is our end of the year podcast.
This is where we lose our minds.
Doing a little early, and
we have a lot to talk about in regards to the Disney Invest. What is it? What was it officially called? Disney Investor
Day.
Too much
Day
is what we
extravaganza.
Too much.
4.5 hour.
So we're going to talk about that on tonight's episode. We're also going to kind of chit chat about 2020, which
do we have to?
I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't even remember.
January and February, beginning of March, and then
everything went to a blur.
Yes,
a blur.
So
we'll talk about that.
Stronger word, but okay.
And then if we have enough time, we will touch on kind of where we want to go with ThrillGeek in 2021. What I've brainstormed and. Because 2020 has been a weird year, so I do want to get things back on track next year, and rock and roll. So if we have enough time, we'll chat about that, and we'll talk about all the stuff that was announced at the Disney investor meeting, all the Marvel, all the Disney, all the Pixar, and all that stuff. So yeah, Eric, how was that Magic Mountain thing? Sounds really cool. He said it's a 35-minute drive through. It's just really cool that you get to drive through a theme park. Like I would like to drive through like Islands of Adventure, and
but then you'd get out of the car and then you'd find like a spot to hide and live there.
Exactly.
I've driven through King's Dominion years ago. So
what'd you drive through King's Dominion for?
When I worked there years ago.
Felt like it.
Oh.
When we were closed during the week, it's like I actually we drive a truck through there sometimes.
Ryan said, I hope 2021 involves Ryan getting his WordPress login.
Please, I'm so tired of writing these articles.
I told him.
Well, when something opens in California again, we'll be more than happy to have you do an article.
I forgot when I told him, probably months ago, that I told him I was going to get him a login to start doing articles again.
You can just share mine. We'll call it a day.
All right.
I love you, Ryan.
I think it's time to start.
Yeah, we'll get going here. Yeah, Michael, I know you've told me you're moving into Florida in 2021. That's awesome. I want to move out of this state. State drives me crazy.
We'll switch.
If it weren't for the theme parks, I'd be out of here. No.
I think I'm going to be a snowbird when I get old.
I
can't stand it.
It's like we bought a house in Japan. See you later, guys.
Basically.
Barry's going to fake us all out with this house he's looking at in Orlando, and him and Sin are going to book it to Japan.
I really want to be surprised.
So, all right, guys, hang tight. We're going to get going here and plow through this podcast episode. So just hang tight 1 minute. I'm going to get going. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of the ThrillGeek Podcast in 2020. I'm Clint.
I'm Barry.
And I'm Emily.
And we have a lot to talk about, so I don't think we should waste any time. For those of you that have known, for those of you who watched it, the Disney investors meeting happened last week, and it was last week, right?
There was a lot. No,
it was a lot. Yeah.
What is time?
Yeah, what is time?
Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore. I really don't. But yeah, they announced an insane amount of new content for everything Disney owns. Let's leave it at that. Disney Plus, Star Wars, just everything. So we're gonna dive into that chit chat. We're not gonna break down everything because there was some obscure stuff. Yeah, there was. Like,
does anybody give a crap about 3 men and a baby and
it's
Turner
got
and
Zac Efron. Come on, okay, that honestly,
I'll watch Efron.
I will honestly watch that because I don't know why.
Efron.
But yeah, there were a lot of obscure stuff like a Turner and the Hooch reboot. Turner and Hooch reboot. Gosh, what else was some of the more obscure stuff that we could briefly make fun of here? Mighty Ducks is getting a reboot with Emilio Estevez returning. It's a reboot, but he's returning for the reboot. So all sorts of randomness. So, ladies and gentlemen, where do we want to start? Do we want to start Star Wars? Do we want to start Marvel?
Yeah, let's do Star Wars because that really had the least amount of information. I mean,
which is shocking because they announced 600 different things.
I mean, we basically got shock and surprise 2 spinoffs of The Mandalorian with Ahsoka being announced and Rangers of the New Republic being announced. The only things that really had any sort of trailers was the Bad Batch, which is the follow-up spinoff of Clone Wars, which had a sizzle reel, which looked pretty cool. And then we basically got sort of a preview sizzle reel for Andor, that will follow Cassian Andor from Rogue One.
I'm really excited about that.
Really at the beginning time of the rebellion, and we're assuming also, well, we know K2SO is going to be in it too. So
yeah,
that looks exciting because
Emily
unlike
seems
the way
excited about us. Emily seems excited about something.
Yeah, unlike the way they shoot The Mandalorian, they're shooting Andor in England. They're building huge sets. It's being shot basically, same place the Star Wars movies have been shot. Mm-hmm. So that looks really epic. And of course, the other big thing was Kenobi, which we already knew about, but Hayden Christensen is returning.
My sweet baby. I love it.
Which who knows? It says as Darth Vader, but we don't know exactly how that's going to fit or work in this show.
About timeline, but I was like, at first I was like, why do they need him to play Vader? Anybody can play Vader.
It's so are we getting flashbacks?
Yeah, is it gonna be like Vader without his helmet on, and it's gonna be crusty Vader again?
Ew,
yeah,
don't call him crusty.
He's like all burnt up, so he's crusty.
I mean, he burned, but then after a while, he becomes just like soggy.
Well, he doesn't heal already. I mean, he heals a little bit, but he's
a little soggy.
Did you say he's a little soggy?
Yeah, he looks soggy.
What's worse, soggy or?
I mean, I'd rather touch something soggy than something burnt and crispy. Like, that's a personal thing, but like, whatever, I'll live.
Wow. That conversation went downhill quick.
Well, and stuff like Andor and Kenobi are all going to be limited series. We're assuming stuff like Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic, that'll be more of a series. We're also announced a Rogue Squadron movie directed by Patty Jenkins, which I think that is huge, and also that Taika Waititi officially finally said that he's doing a Star Wars film.
I love the little logo that they came up when they teased his Star Wars movies. They didn't really give any new details, but that kind of like fun Star Wars logo that came up when they announced when they were talking about it, that was really cool looking. It was like a retro kind of like funky Star Wars logo.
I mean, even like after he did that like one episode of Mandalorian, I like turned to my boyfriend and I was like, he's good. He's fine. He's gonna get it. Like, there's no worry. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, pretty much almost everything that is announced was in an era we've seen before, except for, I believe, it's Star Wars Acolyte, which will take place in the new High Republic era that they just sort of debuted in the comics and in books. Which, I mean, we haven't really seen that. We've seen, with like, what was it, Knights of the Old Republic, more of the beginning of the Sith Jedi wars and stuff like that, but we haven't really ever seen the Republic like at its height, that era.
I mean, they were supposed to do, like, this was years ago, but they were supposed to do a show like almost like the Underground Darkness of Coruscant, which like never came to fruition. There was like test footage released, but they never actually like went. Yeah,
there was a show, like there was a game too that that never got shelved. So I mean,
I missed it. What was I see it here and I got reminded of it. What's the, I was so busy live tweeting on the ThrillGeek Twitter handle that I even missed some stuff that I didn't get a screenshot of. And one of the things that I missed was a droid story. It's coming to Disney Plus. And they were teasing it. It's like a bunch of shorts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then there's also an anime series. That'll be a series of
Visions. Yeah. Star Wars Visions.
From different anime
and then we also got Willow.
Japan.
How about that?
Yeah, Willow series, and of course, an official date for Indiana Jones 5.
Yep. Yep.
He just in a wheelchair at this point.
Yeah.
Harrison
made a joke on Saturday Night Live. What was it? Indiana Jones and his Jamaican nurse.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, a lot of stuff from Lucasfilm. Not much in the way of footage. In a lot of this stuff. 2022, I believe, is the earliest it's going to be. Next year, I don't know. We're going to be lucky if we get Mandalorian season 3 next year, maybe. That seems to be about it. Everything else, Star Wars, is going to be like 2022, 2023. With the next movie, I believe, not till Rogue Squadron. It's not till 2023. Yeah. So it's coming. Tons of Star Wars stuff coming, and if it's all the quality of the Mandalorian, and how the Mandalorian's been, and then the final season of the Clone Wars, I'm all for it. So,
And then of course you got the people that are like, "This is too much. It's too saturated now.
No,
This is too much
give
Star
it
Wars."
all to me.
Yeah. So
we're
all right.
getting different eras, different timelines. I'm all excited about that. So
Let's go over to Pixar. Pixar was kind of a quick one. Let's talk about Pixar really quick. Pixar now they gave an update on Soul, which is coming to Disney Plus on Christmas Day.
yes.
They announced Doug Days, which looks Emily probably yeah
It looks adorable.
Doug Days, and they then they announced the Cars TV, well, not really TV series, but series coming to Disney Plus. Then they announced Win or Lose, which was I that was another one that I missed out on. It was like a basketball.
It says follow a middle school co-ed softball team.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Sports ball.
do I need to?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean it's an original idea. Everything else, like you said, it's been like Cars, and then there's the Monsters Inc. series that's coming. A lot of this. I'm all for Pixar doing original stuff. I mean, we love Monsters Inc. We love the Toy Story. Which, speaking of Toy Story, there's a Buzz Lightyear origin movie. It's
With
like
my baby Chris
Yep.
Evans.
which
Called
is like
Lightyear.
which is going to be like the person who Buzz Lightyear is based on. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I love how Chris Evans actually had to tweet out on Twitter, like, by the way, this is not based on Buzz Lightyear the toy. This is based on Buzz Lightyear the character, which
That was
the toy.
my first thought, though. I was like, wait, is like Tim Allen just busy or dead or what's
Yeah.
happening? Like,
No, he tweeted on, I forgot what his tweet actually said, but he was like, this is based on Buzz Lightyear the person, which is what the toy is based on. And I was like, tell him,
Except
Chris.
Really,
Tell him, Chris.
It's based off a video game TV show, but whatever.
And then we got a look at Pixar's upcoming feature films, Luca, and they announced Turning Red, which seems really interesting. The whole the girl that when she gets excited, she turns into a giant red panda or something like that. That was
Is that
rather
Sin?
interesting. So we got a little tease of those.
I think that one's from the director who did Bow, the short Bow. Which was really, I mean, you want to talk about ripping you to shreds in what was it, 5 minutes? That shred, I'm excited for that movie.
After.
Yep. And then really on Disney Plus, Disney Plus was obviously a big deal with them announcing content for some of the stuff that we briefly mentioned at the beginning. Some of the silly stuff, like they're rebooting Cheaper by the Dozen. They're doing Night at the Museum animated series, which was really interesting on Disney Plus.
The big one, Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2 was finally confirmed that it's going to be. I don't think they said it was in production, but it's on its way.
Disenchanted.
Yep, we finally
get a sequel to Enchanted.
Yep, we finally got the Enchanted sequel. And then what was the?
I think the big news is that Walt Disney Feature Animation for Disney Plus will be doing their first ever animated series. In the past, any of the spin-off series have been done by Disney Television Animation. So we are getting a Tiana series.
Yep.
We are getting a Moana series.
Yep.
What were the other two? Oh, Zootopia. We're getting a Zootopia miniseries.
And then the Iwaju, that show looked really interesting. It almost had a.
There's also the Baymax show. For
Baymax, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing they announced. Yeah, it's like an African. The Iwaju is like an African sci-fi series, which looks really interesting. It says in a first of its kind collaboration, Disney Animation and Pan-African entertainment company Kugali will team up to create an all-new science fiction series coming to Disney Plus in 2022. Iwaju, and they announced they released like a concept artwork image and the logo. So that is that's coming as well. So yeah, no, that was huge. There was tons of that. I think out of all the thread of tweets that I made live tweeting, the Enchanted series tweet went nuts on our Twitter handle.
It's because she deserves it.
There's a lot of people excited about the Tiana series coming to Disney Plus. So
yeah, I mean, and then feature animation.
Really quick, the Zootopia show sounded really cute too, because I guess they're going to be talking about like they're going to kind of like break down like animals in the Zootopia world or something like, or no, was that the National Geographic? Maybe I'm mistaking that for the National Geographic thing they announced.
Are you mistaking it for real animals?
No, they talked about maybe it was a Zootopia show, but they announced something to where they're going to be talking about like the animals within Zootopia. Maybe it was that Zootopia show. I don't know.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody.
I'm trying to look, but okay.
So much was announced.
So as far as feature animation, Raya and the Last Dragon will be coming in March to theaters and to Disney Premier Access for $30.
They're doing that again.
They're doing that again. I think Disney is Warner Brothers went the route of we're going to release everything on HBO Max for a month. Disney is like, nope, you're still going to need to pay for it, because we've talked about this on here before. We have no clue if most theaters will even be open by March. So
I think the theaters that are open now, they're either still showing like throwback movies or they're showing like the movies that nobody really cares about.
Well, it's been minor independent movies that have still been releasing, but they've been releasing in theaters and on demand at the same time. So I think the thing, they're getting to the point now, they can't keep holding these films back. They just can't keep sitting on them. And I was one of the ones who paid $30 for Mulan. I will gladly pay $30 for this to watch it at home. So and it was interesting that they're doing it again, because from what I heard, I never saw, Disney never actually released any numbers or anything. I heard that the Premier Access thing didn't do too well for Mulan. No,
that's why I was confused. I'm like, you didn't do well for
but
this,
I think if a feature animation movie though is a little bit different,
a little bit different demographic.
Different demographic. So it's definitely, I think this case, this is different. You're releasing it at theaters. The theaters that are open will show it, and then you'll be able to watch it at home too. So I think it's sort of a win-win either way. We will see. And then the other thing they announced for fall of next year was Encanto, which they released a brief little teaser for, which will be fall's Disney feature animation, which will take place, I believe, in Colombia, with songs from Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. So. And then over on the Disney side, they announced a bunch of stuff for. They kind of gave an update on Jungle Cruise, which is now in July of next year. For Jungle Cruise. They announced a prequel for Lion King, which was really interesting. I don't know how that's gonna come, how that's gonna work.
They already did that, and it's called Lion King 1.5.
1.5, yeah. That was exactly my thought.
I've ever seen. So
I love that movie. And then they finally announced a live action Little Mermaid. That was another one
with
that
Daveed
a lot
Diggs
of people.
as Sebastian.
Yeah. A lot of, and I think that one's another one. Lin-Manuel Miranda's gonna
as Ursula.
So that's gonna have
Thanks
a little.
for reminding me about that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Melissa McCarthy's
Queen
gonna be Ursula.
Latifah exists.
And then of course,
plenty other people.
Lin-Manuel is going to be part of the music on that as well.
Yeah, along with Alan Menken.
Yeah, and then Walt Disney Studios also announced Peter Pan and Wendy, which I believe that was
that's Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. It's hard to keep track of all this stuff. Disney Plus movie theater. And then this one is really interesting. Pinocchio, a live-action retelling of Pinocchio starring Tom Hanks.
Make it stop.
Directed by Robert Zemeckis.
Make it stop.
So that'll be really interesting. And I believe, what did they announce for the soundtrack for that one? The score? I think, what's his name that did the Avengers score?
Alan Silvestri.
Yeah, I think it was announced.
Usually works with Robert Zemeckis. So.
Yeah, so that makes sense. And then, of course, we got another we got a little update on Cruella. And I think that was it as far as, the Rescue Rangers Disney Plus movie. live action CG. With
we'll see about
what's his
that
name?
one. John Mulaney.
John
and
Mulaney.
Adam
Yeah, thank you.
Sandberg. Yeah,
That'll be
John Mulaney.
interesting. So
I'm not super excited, even though I do like John Mulaney and Adam Sandberg. I'm not really excited about that.
all right,
But let's
Marvel.
get to the meat.
Marvel.
Yes.
I think they started off with WandaVision, didn't they?
Yeah.
If I remember
we finally
correctly.
got a real full trailer for WandaVision, and it kicks off next month. And then we got a full trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which kicks off in March. And then we got a trailer for Loki, which kicks off in May. And then we got a teaser for Miss Marvel, which will come in the fall. And then we didn't get any footage, but we finally got confirmed that Haley Steinfeld, I hope I said her name right, is Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series, which will be coming before the end of the year.
My
so
Hawkeye.
We will get 5 MCU TV shows next year.
Yep.
So it's been a little bit of a drought. That drought's about to end mid-January.
It's going to be a damn flood.
Black Widow is still slated beginning of May in theaters only. We will see. I feel like that date is not going to change, but whether they add premiere access to that, we will see.
That's the one everybody was wondering if they were going to do the announcement for.
I don't think you can keep pushing it back. Because
apparently that movie is needed to continue things. So we need to.
There's too many other things in the pipeline, and it's just and so many things lead into different things, and WandaVision basically now sort of kicks off the entire phase here, which makes sense because she's going to be in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and Doctor Strange is going to be in the Spider-Man movie. And speaking of breaking news,
be in the Spider-Man movie.
Breaking news. Apparently, I've been cast in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh my God! I have also been cast in the Spider-Man movie.
No.
Weird. Clint, did you get your email?
I haven't gotten my email yet.
Well,
I'm not cast
everybody
yet.
else
But
did. So.
I posted on Twitter my sock got cast in Spider-Man 3. So, and then we got Christian.
I know Marvel's. I sort of hate that they've sort of given up. Like
Secrecy.
Everybody. I mean, I know there will be something in that movie that shocks the crap out of us, but
it's Marvel.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, how wrong were we on Infinity War and Endgame? So it's like, yeah,
I know. And then we got the Christian Bale. Speaking of Multiverse of Madness, we got the Christian Bale rumor confirmed. He will be playing the villain. What's his name? Gore the God Butcher.
Yes.
So we got that confirmed. What else? What else we got here?
Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. They just said they'd be filming it during the production of the third one.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's fine.
It's anything that
so bizarre. That was the most random announcement out of this entire thing. The holiday special for Guardians, because I guess it's going to come right before.
A holiday special now.
I guess it's going to come right before Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then I totally forgot the What If. That was the other trailer.
That looks really cool. The animation style looks really cool.
And then there's I Am Groot, which is a series, a little baby Groot.
Oh Lord.
And I love him.
The kids will love that. We also got it. They didn't touch on it a lot. They basically just said that they wrapped up filming on Shang-Chi out in Australia. Yeah. Hawkeye we talked about. Eternals.
Yeah,
there's gonna be another Fantastic Four movie because apparently the world wants that.
Yeah, Fantastic Four.
It was bound to happen, and it's easier to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU first than whatever they're going to do with the X-Men. And like I said, I feel like we're going to be waiting a little while for the X-Men. And there's on top of that, they had revealed more information on Moon Knight and She-Hulk, which is coming in 2022. They also announced Armor Wars, which will have Don Cheadle and War Machine in it, and also
and Samuel L. Jackson.
And Samuel L. Jackson. Oh yeah, Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn will be back for Secret Invasion, which I'm assuming that series may lead into the next Avengers movie because I just don't. Secret Invasion is one of the biggest Marvel stories of all time.
Yeah.
And I can't see that just they're going to use it just for that. But yeah, you're looking at now with movie release schedule, Black Widow May 7th of next year, Shang-Chi July 9th of next year, The Eternals, which we still have never even seen a trailer of, November 5th of next year, the Spider-Man sequel allegedly December 17th of next year, followed by Thor Love and Thunder in February.
Wait, you said that Christian Bale was for Doctor Strange. That's for Thor.
Thor, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Thor Love and Thunder and
one of those Marvel movies.
Thor Love and Thunder, February 2022. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, March 25th, 2022.
And then
who knows? It's the multiverse. Maybe Christian Bale can go over to the Doctor Strange movie and come back. I don't know.
They did say Catherine Newton would be playing Scott Lang's daughter in the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania movie. So
yeah, we got the name for the next Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, Quantumania, and Black Panther. We got an update that Chadwick will not be recast.
Good.
But production of Black Panther 2 is still going forward. So that was a big announcement that came out of
I'm sorry, they did move some stuff around. Doctor Strange is still March 25th of 2022. Thor Love and Thunder is now May 6th, 2022. Black Panther 2 July 28th, 2022. Captain Marvel 2 November of 2022.
Did they give a date for the She-Hulk series?
That's 2022.
Because I know they said Mark Ruffalo is coming back for that.
A lot of the Disney Plus stuff was 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, She-Hulk and Moon Knight are 2022.
Yeah.
And then if everything sticks to plan, we're getting 4 movies each year the next 2 years.
It's a lot.
Possibly 5, because Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is still listed as 2022.
Yeah.
So
put like question marks next to them at this point.
Yeah, and
Guardians
Guardians Volume 3 is not till 2023. And like we've talked about here, and Blade has been announced, there's still not a date. Same thing, Deadpool has been announced, there's still not a date. So whether Guardians will lead into finally the next Avengers, we will see.
So much. My brain can't.
So much Marvel. It's like we've been in a drought from, it'll be almost exactly like a year and a half when WandaVision
comes out. Here.
So, I'm excited. I'm excited to finally, I love some of these people who are like, oh, the MCU's over with. It's like, did you see those? It's like, I'm excited. I'm ready to go again here.
Do you understand that they need to make money?
Well, that and the TV, the Disney Plus shows, it'll allow them to do more storytelling.
Yeah.
And we sort of have to build everything back up again. Because, and you think of everything that happened in Infinity War and Endgame, it's just crazy. And we sort of like are starting in a new level again.
Everything ended on a happy note. Well, not really a happy note, but
a somber but happy.
A somber, yeah.
Hope for the future.
Oh gosh. So, all right. I think we kind of skimmed across everything. Is there anything else that? What?
There's my Alien series.
Yeah, FX.
On FX.
Don't you forget.
There was a lot of stuff.
And Hulu on FX.
Yeah,
before
FX Hulu, little xenomorph babies.
Yeah, there were a lot of announcements before the actual Disney stuff even happened with FX and a lot of their international Star. Yeah, there was the Star thing was really huge for because I guess they're integrating that into Disney Plus. Which was really interesting.
That's where the 18 plus mature thing is going to be, where
Disney
basically
After Dark.
The Fox movies, where that have been slowly being added, the adult, the R-rated Fox movies that have been slowly been added to Hulu. That'll end up being on Stars. It takes time.
Dee Dee said the Alien show is going to be nuts. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I mean, it's a good opportunity to sort of reboot Aliens because the last few movies have not really been that great.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, really, outside of Aliens and Alien and Aliens, the rest of the movies are
Prometheus School of Running Away from Things.
Yeah,
and let's face it. So far, anything Disney owns, it seems like TV shows are better than the movies.
Yeah, I mean, it being on FX, it'll get to be able to be gory the way it needs to be, and I'm excited. And it's being done. I'm losing his name off the top of it. It's being done by the guy who does Fargo, and Fargo is one of the best TV shows.
What's his name?
No, it's like Noah something.
Let me look it up.
But he did Fargo and
Hawley.
did Noah Hawley. And Fargo is one of the best things on TV. It's each season is like each episode of that show is like a movie. So I'm excited, and
yeah, and I heard that Ridley Scott's going to have obviously a part in it too. So
yeah, he ain't letting that go anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, and they didn't really announce too much about it. It was a quick little tease. They came up with some creepy alien artwork on the screen, and that was it. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it. Yeah, that was enough for me. So all right. Anything else that we didn't touch on? Anything you guys wanted?
I think that's literally it.
I think we did a pretty good job.
It was it was amazing. It's just
a small glimmer of hope.
And some of this stuff is 2-3 years away, but some of it is right around the corner. So it's I'm excited. Anything new.
And Disney did announce that Disney Plus will be going up $1 in March. I think it was.
Better be glad it's only $1, not.
Yeah.
Too bad I still got almost 2 years left at like $3 that I paid for. So
Disney also announced that they have 137 million total subscribers across its platforms, which include Hulu, ESPN, Disney Plus, which is about 195 million compared to which is Netflix has about 195 million. So that kind of gives you an idea of that.
Yeah, Netflix also costs like 17.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they just sent me an email and they're like, "Hey, so we're doing it again."
Hey, your premium's now $17.99 a month.
I said, I wish it was really called Disney's Aliens.
Yes, that was called Alien Encounter.
Disney's Aliens sounds like a Toy Story spinoff. And the DD says better $1 than $3 with Netflix.
Exactly.
I've tried to convince the wife to upgrade to we don't have the 4K. I keep forgetting Netflix has a 4K option.
Yeah, that's what
we don't even have that yet. And apparently it's like another $3 or $4 on top of the $17 you already pay. And I was like,
And it's because it's like 4K, and then you get 4 users, I think, instead of just 2.
Oh,
something like that.
Here's my password. Here's my username and password.
I pay for the 4K. I mean, I pay for the 4K, so.
Yeah,
I just
I'll have to come over
hint whenever I try to log onto Netflix and they're like, both of your parents are watching things right now. I'm like, cool, so YouTube. Thanks.
And then on the other hand, I don't pay for Hulu because it was free through my cell phone. So
yeah, that's the same with me for HBO Max. I get it through AT&T, so I don't have to pay for HBO Max. So, anyways, all right, let's talk about 2020. How was 2020, guys? How was the year?
It started off so wonderful. I mean,
it did. Let's go back. Let's go way back.
We were so excited. We were going to get Iron Gwazi, Ratatouille.
We were at the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway media event.
Already depressed.
We had just been riding Rise for
Oh yeah, we had ridden Rise a couple times that day. We were living the dream.
I was sitting at home watching it all. Thanks, guys.
And then March came.
Beginning of March came and everything was normal.
Yeah. So
and then less than 2 weeks later, I was there on the final night that Magic Kingdom was open.
Yep.
And it was weird.
Ryan, can we start with the Super Bowl? Yeah, go Chiefs.
AKA me sitting in Clint's house just eating potato chips.
I didn't even watch it except for the last part. So
We're not
I mean,
sports people, and we're all just sitting there like mindlessly eating snacks and just contemplating life.
Sports ball.
Sports ball.
no, I mean, I was I was there when Magic Kingdom closed, and
Was it sad?
It was sad because it was sad, and then you had it was packed with college program kids, and then it was packed with people from the cheerleading event they had that week. So
like a cheerleading competition.
Yeah, because literally we didn't really get to see the park close because they had like a 3-hour after hours event that night.
Yeah.
Which, looking back now, sometimes we joke that the reason they didn't shut the park, because they shut Disneyland down on that Friday. And we think the reason they didn't shut the Disney World down is because they had all those cheerleading, they had that huge event there. So, but
I was up in North Carolina on vacation about to go to Dollywood.
It was, yeah.
I almost went to the last night of Mardi Gras, and then I was like, no, I'm tired. I stayed home with Bungie.
It was definitely weird. And we actually, when we watched Happily Ever After, we sort of stood off to the side away from everyone because it's like we hadn't done, masked yet, but everybody was all packed in the hub.
And this was when, we didn't know anything about this coronavirus.
We sort of
freak out
tried
about
to avoid people that night.
Yeah, it was a really weird vibe.
Well, didn't we go to Disney the day before too, Barry? And we just kept washing our hands everywhere. We're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is great.
Yeah, they had the last 2 weeks they had started putting out the hand sanitizer everywhere and putting out hand washing.
They put out the
stations.
sinks, yeah.
Yeah, so it was and we definitely took advantage of that. And
hey Ryan, what's a Disneyland? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
What's a Disneyland?
And then everything closed, and
so bizarre. I mean,
it was so bizarre. You guys have seen the videos we posted of driving down iDrive and driving through Disney World.
It was a ghost town.
Just
that
empty.
was our life, though, for a few months, just feeling something driving through property.
You could literally. There are times of the day on iDrive you could literally go into the street and lay down on the asphalt for
just for legal reasons. I'm not going to suggest anybody to do that. I know.
I'm not suggesting, but I said you would literally sit there on the sidewalk, and it would be 2 or 3 minutes before a car would go by.
I think that was more eerie than the parks closing. I mean, the parks closing were bizarre, and it was what is going on? But seeing the videos of us bloggers and some of the vloggers driving around over there through Disney and just seeing it completely empty, that's when it hit me. I was like, holy crap, this is insane.
It was bizarre. And Disney was really weird because it was, they stopped doing everything. Whereas you could drive by Universal and you could still see the cranes moving.
Universal's let's go. Let's go.
Won't stop.
And in hindsight, that turned out to be the very smart thing to do.
To get this Velocicoaster going.
Was to keep going, keep working on stuff while the parks were closed. Then we got to June and Universal reopened and SeaWorld reopened. Probably earlier than a lot of people thought would.
Yeah, the reopening process was really interesting because I think by that point we were all on edge.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what to expect with the parks reopening. What was going to happen? What was going to be open? What was going to be closed? Am I going to have to wear a full biohazard suit to the park?
If you're going that hard, maybe you shouldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anybody go that hard yet.
It was definitely interesting. Because the three of us, were really some of the first people who went to the parks. And
we've been going since they've been reopened. And it's changed.
I got into the previews when July rolled around, and I got you went to a cast member preview with Cheryl, and we got into the pass holder previews, and
I forgot
it was weird. It was airy, but
Hollywood
you know what?
Studios.
Was it Hollywood Studios?
Is it so horrible to stay that first month?
Oh no. That was pure bliss, and now I'm living a nightmare.
It was like everything was a walk on. Like the longest line was like Mine Train was like 10 minutes.
And here we are 9 months later, and people still can't stay 6 feet away.
It's like I realize things that change. You know, it's still really nice. I know, and no one crucified. It's still really nice sometimes, like towards the end of the night. You know,
also depends on the day and
since there's no fast pass, like especially at Magic Kingdom, Haunted Mansion and Pirates is like it used to be. End of the night, walk right on.
Yeah.
Depends though, because there have been times where I've walked right on, and then there's been other nights where I'm like, why is this wrapped around 3 times and there's 10 minutes to close?
Like there was pictures today of Haunted Mansion line all the way down by like the Liberty, the boat entrance past there, and it only said
but the funny
45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, in the line, but the one good thing compared to having fast, the lines actually move.
Yeah.
It's like you may wait in a 30-minute line, but the line is moving. I will say since July, I have ridden Mine Train more than I have probably ridden it in the last 3 years. So it's like...
Do you know how many times I've ridden Hagrid's this year that I probably would not have been able to if things were finger quotes normal?
Unfortunately still haven't gotten to ride it that many times.
You know, and we've chatted about this before. You know, we feel guilty about saying this stuff, but it's a tiny part of us is like, this has been kind of nice. But it's.
However, we lost HHN this year.
Yeah, that was the big one. Everybody.
We still kind of got it a little.
We at least got a couple of 2 houses, and then the bonus on the final weekend.
The only one,
which was
really
really the coolest part about all of it was getting to do those houses, and especially the Beetlejuice house on the final weekend.
I think that was my favorite. part
we
of the whole year.
got. Halloween was really, I think, when we sort of at least got some semblance of normalcy.
Yeah,
like it was the decorations were up. They had Magic Kingdom. They basically had mini Boo to You cavalcades. And now with Christmas time, we really got even more. It's definitely what the stuff Universal has done and the stuff Disney has done at least gives it a feel of Christmas. Universal bringing back the cinematic celebration on certain nights, which I got to see it one night, and I got to admit, I got a little teary-eyed because just to be able to see a nighttime show and fireworks,
these flashy things in the sky.
Yeah, it's because Disney's not going to do that anytime soon because the crowds there.
Yeah, I mean they added the fireworks before the projection shows on the castle, but that's the the air powered little fireworks. It was really cool to see Universal come back with the show, the nighttime show, and they've executed it really well. I mean, they got that new area that they built, and they do a good job in that area in Central Park of keeping. I've seen it once or twice. Keeping people socially distanced on different rows of the seating area. But I think the most interesting thing was when the parks reopened and the holidays started to come up, Halloween, Christmas. It was really interesting to see Disney, Universal, Busch, the big parks, scramble to come up with something for said season, Christmas, Halloween, and do a pretty good job of it. Because like we said, the daytime stuff that Universal came out with for Halloween, we got the few haunted houses, we got the Scarecrow stalk, and a few other things. It was really cool to see that they came up with something. In such a short amount of time.
Busch Gardens still did Hallow Scream, and it was actually a fun event. I mean, it was all scare zones and really scare zones, and then basically 2 haunted trails, and they pulled it off. And we've had this before. Disney and Universal have done a really good job of enforcing distancing. Busch Gardens and SeaWorld,
different. Yeah,
depends on when you go. The other
had different-
places,
I've had
depends
different-
on when you go.
I mean, I personally don't have a pass for
Yeah.
SeaWorld or Busch
Yeah.
Gardens, and it's privilege, and I will acknowledge that whenever we've been. It is, though, but
Yeah.
when we've been invited out there and they've, been gracious enough to host us and give us free tickets and kind of give a little more of a, hey, like, this is something given to you, so it's going to be a little more of a calmer experience. So I really can't say, I guess, of what.
Speaking of which, I got to finish my Christmas lanyard. I still got 4 punches.
So hold on, before I get into that, when we heading down there, when am I getting my chicken and waffle sandwich again?
I was like, oh, I got it right here. Here's my lanyard. 4 more punches.
But
Yeah, because
I just
Emily and
can't
I had
really
already
speak.
stuffed our faces
Yeah.
before the.
oh god, like I love them so much.
Food.
Because okay, so like don't get me wrong, like even if it's a festival, like if you go to somewhere like Epcot, for example, and I still love Epcot, I still love, the different choices that they have, and, maybe not so much the portion or the price size.
Yeah.
Yes, Beetlejuice does need to return next year. We love Beetlejuice. But, there's something where you look at something like Epcot, for example, and you're like, okay, I just paid $7 for this. This is great. And then you pay $7 to $8 at somewhere like SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, and they're like, here are 2 full-size waffles. Here is a legit full chicken breast with the apple butter and the maple syrup, and you're like,
Yeah.
thank you. I need you to acknowledge that I'm thick and I enjoy food. So I appreciate you. So it has actually been nice that we can kind of have a tiny, tiny little sense of normalcy when it comes to the food festivals and stuff. And of course, if everybody's staying safe, then, I just personally haven't experienced, I guess, maybe what everybody else is at SeaWorld and Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
Because I know some other people, and I've seen other people online be like, this is really hectic.
Oh,
This is not okay. And
Well,
then you
I
see
mean-
other people being like, it's fine. So
Weekends in general at
Oh,
all the
sure.
parks have been crazier.
Yeah.
Especially Universal, because Universal did that deal where you buy one day,
And you get the
through
rest of the year free.
December 23rd or 24th free.
Yeah.
We'll see how things are after the first of the year. It's Disney has slowly upped their capacity. All the parks have slowly upped their capacity.
very slowly, but very telling. You
Yeah.
can just go in and you're like, oh, this is different.
And the big thing with Disney has been the big 35% number, but you have to realize too, with Disney Magic Kingdom in particular, 35-40% of that park's regular capacity is what they are running at, and 35-40% is a normal day pre-coronavirus at Disney.
Yeah.
I
So
still
we are-
just think of it this way though, where it's like, okay, so we're at this capacity and people might be upset about it.
Yeah.
But let's remember at this time of year, with even this amount of capacity that they're allowing in, let's say we're going over in Magic Kingdom and going into Tomorrowland.
Yep.
Before you could not physically move
Yep.
and get around other people. And now you're like, I'm good. So I'm like, I am grateful for that.
That's the thing with no fast pass. People are actually in the lines. And yes, unfortunately, especially at at certain places, it definitely they've had to get very creative with the queues. And I feel like they've gotten better at that. But it definitely cramps up some of the walkways sometimes, which makes it feel busier than it actually is.
Heck, I don't think
that's a
I don't
big
think
problem
we-
they have in Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom.
I mean, at least for myself, for example, if we're talking about maybe somewhere like Magic Kingdom, I'll go on more rides like Little Mermaid or Haunted Mansion, something with an Omnimover or something that has a higher capacity rate, and I kind of know which rides not to kind of hit up at this point because you're going to be standing there for a while. So as long as you play it safe, it's
No, I can't even remember if we talked about it on the podcast or not, but Disney announced that January 1st, park hopping is going to be returning.
That's still a weird system that I don't fully understand.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand
It's
it either.
after 2:00.
Yeah.
You
But
still got to
after
start.
2:00, you have to have a reservation, but for the first park, you don't?
No, you have to have a reservation for whatever park you're in. You still have to have a reservation for a park. And then after 2:00, you can go to another park.
But do you also have to have a reservation for that other park?
No.
Just
that
the first
doesn't
park
make any
you
sense
visit.
to me, though, because then how are they going to handle capacity at that second park?
Their goal is to get people to Epcot in the evening.
But what if I want to go to Hollywood Studios?
Well, see, the thing the reason it's after 2:00 is so you can't go
on
to
Rise.
Hollywood and go on Rise. You can go to Hollywood Studios, but you're not going to be able to ride
But
Rise.
you can stand out there like a sad weeb.
And same thing, you can go to Animal Kingdom, but it's going to close in 3 hours most days. So their goal is to get Epcot. I mean, if you've been during the week, it is dead at night.
That's actually the nicest thing. That's what I suggest
and that's
to
wonderful.
Most people.
I mean, but that's the way it's that's the way it normally is with park hopping. Is a lot of times you go to another park and you park over. A lot of people park hop to Epcot in the evening and have dinner at Epcot because that's why they have all those restaurants. So it's
and of course with the festivals too, you can fill up.
And with the festivals, so I'm happy. I'm just happy to have park hopping back. I don't care how they do it. It's going to be nice to be able to, like, if I can't get a reservation for Magic Kingdom and I can get one for Epcot, then boom, after 2:00 I can go to Magic Kingdom. So
yeah, I guess I'm a little worried about that. I know it'll probably be fine, but my paranoia, my anxiety, love me. But it almost feels like there are going to maybe be like certain like maybe mostly on weekends, I guess, where it might just seem like too much then if people are like, oh well, let me go to this park and immediately go over to the other one starting at 2.
Most people with regular tickets now don't really park hop because you have to pay extra for it. It's mainly the pass holders who do it. And it's not jobs like us who've bounced through all 4 parks in one day. So it's
I'm getting too old for that crap.
I'm excited, and the funny thing is having a platinum pass. It's like I've had no problem getting reservations Christmas week because it's like
baller.
We're the only one. That's the only thing that has any availability is the pass holders for that week. So
watch out, y'all. Barry's got his platinum pass. Watch out.
We'll be there.
That must be nice.
We'll be there Christmas night again.
I'll be standing outside on Friday when I get blocked out, being like,
to share.
I never got to go to Hollywood Studios for.
Well, that's what I had. I got a reservation for Hollywood Studios on Saturday. And I was like, how did I get that? I was like, oh, blackout date begins Friday. That's why.
Barry felt special for a few seconds.
Well, I couldn't get one, so I brought up the map, and it literally says the day after I get blocked out. They're like, oh, you can go. It's fine. And I'm like, you mother.
Speaking of January 1st, 2021, let's take a few minutes here and chat about 2021. I know I've talked about with you guys, and what do you guys want to see in 2021 from us? For those of you obviously listening to the podcast,
be appropriate.
Yes, please be mature about this. Even though I'm very immature.
I was about to say you're the worst one out of all 3 of us.
Stop. No,
we'd like to get paid.
Yeah. Payroll for everybody. Okay, noted.
At least get our passes paid for. How about that?
Yeah.
So if you guys want to join our Patreon,
that's one thing I've avoided.
Hey, we're one of the few who haven't done that, and
if you give us $5, Barry will wink at you every month.
Well, coming in 2021, you'll be able to stay at my Airbnb. So.
God.
But no, in all seriousness, I've had this struggle with ThrillGeek of like who we are, like what we're supposed to do. What are we a blogger? Are we influencers? Are we all the above?
It sounds like you need some therapy, sir.
Oh, tell me about it.
Who am I? Please tell me.
Who am I?
Well, 2020 was starting off so good and so awesome, and then it all just came crashing down. And I think that's
just
shown
like my mental health.
on the website,
Hey,
I'm not taking blame for it. I'm not blaming you guys. It's just 2020 has been such a crappy year.
I mean, it's kind of hard, at least with the website a little bit, because it's like, how many times do I got to tell you top 5 rides for kids? Like, you kind of run out of stuff after a while, and you're like, I recommend the Mickey pretzel with the plastic cheese. Like,
I've tried the thing where, do we steer more away from articles and do more, just tweets on Twitter, and I've done that. If something's announced, I've just posted a tweet about it, and we've never done an article. And is that the route we should stick with? Is social media and the podcast and the YouTube channel something we should stick with and steer away? Because let's be honest, articles have never been our strong point. We get the big juicy stories out there, but I don't have the capability of hiring writers to provide updates on pop culture and everyday theme park stuff. There are other blogs out there that I can recommend that do this much better than we do. But people enjoy us. We have a huge following, and I'm going to toot our own horn and, and in that respect. And, so what do we do with this following? We have fans, we have listeners, we have watchers on YouTube. So I really want to spend the at least the beginning part of 2020. Well, go ahead, Barry.
I think we're all busier, and I've been.
Well, that too.
I've been with you. I've been here 4.5 years, and my life has gotten massively busier. Emily's been here almost 2. Her life has gotten busier. It's just we are more tied up, and I
was gonna say, I think we also live in like a really weird digital age where if something comes out real quick, and you could be like, Halloween Horror Nights will be running for these dates in September through October. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. That's tweet. I saw it real quick, and now I know, and I can mark it in my phone.
And that's the thing.
If I need more information, maybe of where to buy tickets or what they're going to have, then I could click on somebody's website. But most likely what I'd be looking for is me going, cool, I'm scrolling through my phone, and I saw something. Great. And that's just how people are. I have multiple news sites and stuff on my phone, like BuzzFeed and all these other things. And unless it's something like major that like gives me a notification, I'm not reading articles. And I'm not really going through that.
Yeah, and that's the mindset that I've always had. People's attention spans with these things right here are so small that a tweet is just fine. Yeah. Sending out a tweet about a new Marvel movie that was announced, and our tweets on that stuff do well. So, and
it's just a broader audience, though, too. That's kind of where I've always been with it, is, you could tweet something about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show coming out.
Exactly.
And you'll get, if you're lucky, you can get at least, 10 to 200K people looking at it. You don't know who you're really reaching, and it's kind of harder to be like, hey, but if you want more, come to my website. It's like almost like asking like the little girl to get into the van.
So I've had more ideas, which I won't get into because I don't want to bore you guys and I don't want to bore people listening. And I've told, Barry and Emily that, we need to get together. We need to have a meeting. And just like Barry said, all of our lives have...
fired.
You're fired in the voice of Vincent McMahon.
Ryan.
And get everybody together. Yeah, I can get Ryan's input because he still is a part of ThrillGeek, even though California has been non-existent. I appreciate everything he's done in the past with the website. So I kind of want opinions on My thing is I think we should stick with the digital stuff, stick with the social media, stick with the YouTube, stick with the. Because that's the other thing too. In order to make money with ads on websites, you got to generate clicks, and I'm not in the business for that. As everybody knows,
Inside
that knows
the
me.
Magic.
Yes. Not to call out names, but yes.
But inside the magic.
I'm not in the business to generate clicks for articles.
Ryan. He goes, I've been fired once this year, twice would be interesting.
Wow.
No, I mean it's
I love you, Ryan.
One thing that did grow this year, the YouTube was growing like fire for a while there. For those of you who may have noticed, we've actually been putting out a vlog every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's
neither one of
when they get me out of the house.
Come on, Emily.
none of us have the ability like some people, some of our friends who pump out 4 or 5 a week. But that's because
they have no jobs right now.
That's because that's all they do is do that.
And everybody knows I have 3 kids. I am going to put my foot down. I am the busiest out of all of us.
I have no children, but I have a boyfriend, so it's kind of like
he's like
we're buying a house. We're opening an Airbnb. We're about to do some other business stuff with Sin. I'm in a band right now. I mean, it's and I have a full-time job, so
I'm the number one fan.
And I do this.
So, I the bottom line is I want to spend, the first part of 2021 before things start getting back to quote fingers normal. Just kind of streamlining things because, like Barry said, and we just mentioned, we're all busy. We all have all these things going on. I don't want to stop doing Thrill Geek. I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination going to be doing that. Because like I said, we do have a huge following. We, people enjoy us, I
hope so.
They do. And again, I'm going to toot our own horn here. People enjoy us and, I want to continue that. It's just, how do we continue it and how do we streamline it? One thing that I pitched out and, I will mention this is, us stop doing these live streams of the podcast, which we're doing right now, and recording them still, doing a video recording of them and cropping up the videos into smaller videos for our YouTube channel. So like, say for this podcast, I could crop up the, the Marvel stuff, the Disney, the Star Wars stuff, and post several little videos on our YouTube channel. So that's one thing that I've come up. I've actually brought up several times to Barry. About doing so. I do want to spend the first part of 2021, just getting things streamlined and that sort of thing. So,
but do you guys also like the live stream? Are we entertaining? Like, is this a good?
And I'm not saying we couldn't. Yeah, no. And we do have people watch the live stream. We have regulars like Michael and Ryan, and people come in and they hang out with us during these podcast live streams. And I'm not saying we could. It's easy to pop in and do a live stream. I mean, if we wanted to still do a live stream one random night, where everybody just came out and we hung out, and it wasn't a podcast or anything.
I still think we could possibly do a live stream and then take the content from the live stream and break them down into smaller videos as well.
Yeah, so that's
just
one
that
thing.
Way we can keep the interaction with everybody. Because I really personally enjoy that. It gives us a little something more to go
realize,
off of.
Yeah, we haven't been doing, because I haven't been doing them. We haven't been doing as many Thrill Geek lives from in the parks as we used to.
It's because nobody takes me out of the house, and I'm tired of being here, and I want to go outside.
You have access to the Facebook page. You can go.
Do you, with me and my phone that I don't have the tripod thingy?
Oh yeah, you need a
I'll purposely go out there and be like,
if you ever want to borrow mine, let me know. Or Barry. Barry's 10 minutes closer than I am. So
that's my 2021 gift.
All right.
If I get one of my
own. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to do for 2021. I hope I kind of mentioned and touched on what you guys want as well for the website and everything. So anyways, I think that's it. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Get on out of here.
Is it?
Happy New Year, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. What else is coming up? Even though
Happy Kwanzaa.
This will be our final episode, as I said at the beginning of 2020, and we'll see you guys next year, 2021. Let's make it a a good one,
decent one.
Yeah.
Without so much pain.
Here we go.
All right, Barry.
We are at ThrillGeek on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page, YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, ThrillGeek.com, for the latest in theme park and pop culture news. And you are listening to the ThrillGeek Podcast, where if you can get a podcast, you can get the ThrillGeek Podcast.
Yes, you can. Emily, thank you once again for joining us.
You're welcome.
Love you. Appreciate you.
Love you guys.
Yes.
Merry Chrysler.
Yeah. Thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out with us in the chat room. Daniel, Ryan, Michael, Eric,
everyone,
Dee Dee, everybody, Sam. Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us as always. Yeah. And all right, thanks for listening, guys. And we'll see you next year.
Yeah, we'll see you next year. Everyone, please stay safe out there.
Be safe. Wear a mask.
See you in the
Please do
parks.
so. Bye.
I did a nice little slow fade out with that one. A little slow fade.
Daniel said, let's get donations to get Emma gimbal.
Yeah.
Please.
Start that Patreon.
Yeah.
Where Barry winks at you for $5 a month.
We could be complete jerks and put the podcast on the Patreon so people are forced to pay for this crappy podcast.
And then nobody buys our Patreon then.
It blows my mind that people do that. Like I know some I'm not going to name names, but there are some other theme park podcasts or pop culture podcasts where you have to be a
really?
Patreon to get their podcast. Yeah. I'm like, I'd love to see.
I don't remember what it was. It was one of those donation things. It wasn't like a monthly thing, but it was like you paid for like a certain package or whatever to like support somebody.
Well,
which I think is cool if like you
I mean,
merch,
if you do it, you're basically not keeping. If you do it and you don't keep the podcast, you're basically saying you have to produce a certain amount of content every month. That's
the thing with the Patreon.
I don't like
once you start a Patreon, you have to keep up on the content on it. There's no oops, I missed a week. If people are paying you money, you have to supply the content. And I wouldn't be, again, on the flip side, there are some people that do a podcast and their regular episodes are
they
free.
debut first on the Patreon too.
Either that or they premiere first on Patreon and then they go free, or they're free regularly and they do like paid like special episodes with like special guests and stuff like that. We should do like a ThrillGeek After Dark podcast because everybody knows we can all be a potty mouth.
Yeah.
We try to keep it.
If you ever want to hear the extremely rated R version of me, please go over to the Grim Grinning Host podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were on there.
And that's basically what would happen with ThrillGeek After Dark.
That's real Emily.
That is real Emily. I'm a shell of myself.
Yeah, Daniel, that's where you could be a guest. We could curse like a sailor and just live it up.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that Dexter?
What the hell was that?
That's me snoring from earlier.
I love how Barry's brain goes, you know what would be the best thing to play right this second?
On Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.
A video of me
snoring.
I genuinely thought that was Dexter, because sometimes Dexter will be like...
He does it too. It's hilarious when he...
Yeah, because he's his father's son.
Old man doggy snoring.
I have never met a dog that just resembles its owner so much. That's you and Dexter.
Oh, shoot. Why does...
Ooh, I need to break my back after sitting there for an hour.
Oh, speaking of which, I got this, as you guys have seen, I got to see a Velocicoaster test at the Orlando Informer meetup. That was
How many butterbeers did you drink?
I was standing right next to you. Include me.
Well, when I was there with Emily and Kimmy, I had 2. And then the following on Saturday night, I had 2 or 3 more. So I had like 5 hot butter beers within like...
There was like a point where you were like double fisting.
I was just like
poor
Kim, living the dream.
Like poor Kim was just like trying to like drink it like a normal person. She's like, it's freaking scalding my tongue. I can't do it. And you're like...
I'm looking over at Kimmy like, come on.
I always have to wait for it to cool down some.
Well, this lady comes around the corner and she has like a tray and she's like, butterbeer? Would you like any type of butterbeer we have? And I'm like, no, lady, walk away. This is dangerous. Don't taste them.
She had like a whole tray and I was like, I'll just take that, thank you.
Well, no, she came over with 1 and then you were like, she gonna bring the tray back? And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, because the lady in front of us got the last one. I was like, you better come back with that tray.
Well, then you start
no.
getting mad at her, and you're like, does she only have normal butterbeer? And I'm like, dude, she will come back.
I don't want the regular butterbeer. I want my hot.
Literally the whole time, I'm just like, oh no, I don't know any of these people.
I need my hot butterbeer. I've gotten pretty lucky, though. I haven't gotten one that's been ridiculously hot. I don't know if I just don't get a full batch or like a fresh
Maybe you
batch.
just burned all the taste buds in your mouth at this point because Kim was not able to drink it.
Anyways, yeah, hot butterbeer for life, all the way.
But yeah, Velocicoaster, she quiet, like extremely.
Huh? Yeah, it's
like
really
we
quiet.
were literally like listening very
like
hard to hear
only
if it was like going off. We're like, really? Sure.
Yeah, like we were coming up on it, and we were right there by River Adventure almost.
Well,
Emily, we were just past the River Adventure
and
entrance,
then we heard a little bit of it,
and then we heard the intimate brake sound, the and I was like, oh, and so Emily and I make a beeline, like almost up by like.
Well, see, this is the thing, and I need everybody to realize this. I'm not skinny. I'm thick. So when I start to run, it lasts for maybe 5 seconds until my body goes, what you doing? And I need to sit. So Clint started running. Emily made mistakes, and Emily sat on a bench and waited. Until everybody went, where's Clint? And then we look around the corner and you're like, come over here. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, the first one we saw was interesting because it did the first launch where it launches and it goes up into the little mountain thing there. And then they must have stopped it in the second launch before it goes up to Top Hat because we stood there for like a solid...
Well, I have a friend that like works at Ride, and he was like saying like, no, we were just dispatching and we were stopping it and we were having a good time doing both. And I was like, oh, okay.
Because I know from what we saw in the video that Universal released, the second launch, like something happens with like raptors around you on screens and stuff. I don't know how long that... It can't be... Yeah. It can't be any more than a few...
the tunnel goes like where that rock formation is. I think the tunnel's right next to it from like where the pictures are. So I think it might have been stopping in that tunnel. Yeah,
Daniel, I'd love to. Velocicoaster, the thing with the, obviously like back when you and I used to do like the coaster music videos is a coaster has to be photogenic in order for it,
You can't really get too many good angles on this thing right now unless you're on the bridge. Yeah,
until the construction walls, because they took down the construction walls and you can walk up to the raptor paddock like prison bars.
But only that front raptor paddock, and everything else is still walled off.
And everything is, and they even behind the paddocks they have like a construction wall still, so you can't look into the coaster. But yeah, no, I would love to do like a music video to it. Daniel and I used to like back in our high school days used to do like coaster music videos where we would film a coaster a bunch and then find some cool music, set it to, and maybe it might be possible with Velocicoaster. It just depends on how many angles you can get, everything, how much footage you can get of it. But
Michael asked a question. He said, speaking of the Orlando Informer event, do you have to be an Orlando Informer member to attend the after party, or is it just for everyone to attend?
Oh, anybody can go. Yeah.
Well, you can go, but you do need to buy a ticket ahead of time. And those are sold online by Orlando Informer, but you definitely have to have a ticket to enter. Unfortunately, it's not a free event. But you don't have to be like... Yeah, well,
I've never gone because I'm not spending that kind of money.
Yeah.
I was very nicely gifted it from someone, and then, Kim, who's my best friend, we've just been talking so much about how, her dad's at risk and I have people at risk, and it's kind of hard to justify going to the parks when you have, people like that. But at the same time, there are events like that where it's quieter, there's not that many people, like you can walk around and kind of have that freedom. So I was like, well, what can I get her for Christmas? She loves makeup, she loves all these things, and get her all these girly things, or can I, at least take her out somewhere where, she can have free food and she can enjoy something that she loves without having too much of stress. So I did buy the ticket for her, but also if you are interested in it, and I'm genuinely not trying to plug them or anything, but they do have like an afterpay scenario as well, at least on the website. So if you can't afford, I think it's like $200, Clint can probably say what the actual final price point is, but
I think it's It's like
It's
$220.
It's
Yeah,
220 something around there.
220. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the exact price.
You know, if you can pay that off really quickly, you can select a bigger method. Like I did $40 a month for 6 months. You can even do $20 for 12 months if that works for you. So
and you can eat $220 worth of food that night.
I was gonna say you can eat 220,000 calories.
Yeah, that too. But no, the
we didn't even get to all that food. We were like so excited. Like me and Cheryl were just like, oh yeah, we're gonna go here. We're gonna get this. And then like third thing in, we're like, I can't do this anymore. Like I got a churro at the end of the night because I was like, oh no, they're closing. And I panicked. And I was like, I don't need this churro. I'm not hungry for the churro. I need nothing to do with the churro. And I just panicked. And I was like, man, please have this churro.
I was like, of all the food, I was like, why is Emily eating at Burger Digs? Jesus.
Because Emily panicked. The line for 3 broomsticks was too long. And I can normally not afford a $15 cheeseburger. So I panicked. And I went there. But they were going to sell all that stuff anyways. Like, most of the quick service places were still, like, at least during the event, were still like, we got cheeseburgers and chicken tenders. And you're like, okay. Like, there wasn't really anything too different at most of them, so.
Oh, don't lie, Emily. The first thing you looked for was where to get chicken tenders. Don't lie.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't get any freaking chicken tenders
I know.
that night. And it went against everything I believe in. And it pained me.
Ryan said the Knott's Christmas Festival included 5 food items, and I barely made it through 2.
But their like portions look huge.
Yeah, they.
Which means it's an event for me.
Chicken tendies. That's
me.
That's the food to Emily's heart.
That's me. I had a chicken tendy. Wimpy's was open, John.
Yeah, Wendy's was open. Yep. Did I say Wendy's?
Yeah.
Yes, you said Wendy's.
Excuse me,
I got
may
Wendy's
I have some
spicy
free
nuggets.
spicy nuggets?
Derek Bergen would kill me if I walked up to Wimpy's and said, "Can I have some spicy nuggies?"
Sir, please read the sign.
Oh, this is Wimpy's. Now, ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Me just screams, what about my spicy chicken nuggies?
But I want my spicy nuggies. Please.
If you ever want to screw yourself up, though, ask them to make the spicy chicken nuggies for you, like, fresh. Because for some reason, just because they're so hot, that it's, like, 10 times spicier, and you'll just mess yourself up, and it's great.
Coming from the professional there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, guys. It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to get on out of here. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Be safe.
We love
See you later,
all.
Daniel. Thanks for hanging out. John, thank you. Ryan.
Eric.
Good night, everybody.
Michael. Goodbye.
We'll see you guys in 2021, unless we decide to pop on here and do some random live stream or something. So, anyways, everybody, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
If we don't see
Merry
you.
Chrysler.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah, we'll see you
Things
guys
are about to
later.
get a lot worse.
Yep. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, Barry, for the paranoia.
Wow.
What? It's the
Ending on a
truth.
high note. All right. See you guys.
Bye.